as soon as I got the epidural, I was able to like sleep. My water
Mm,
broke on its own because I like relaxed. And I woke up at 6 a.m., 9 centimeters dilated. And my epidural was like not turned up that high either. So like I had feeling in my legs before I started pushing. So I was in a fully
amazing.
like upright squat. And yeah, for pushing, I only pushed for like 45 minutes. And she came out, no tears. I love it. I'm really so
Okay.
happy to be here and I'm so happy to know you and I can't wait to meet you like and hang out in California and like see you in your world because you came and saw us, but I want to see you in your world.
Seriously, Anya, I had like instant girl crush on you when we got to meet in person, and
Oh my God.
I love what you and Connor have built together and everything that you guys do share in the world. It was amazing to have him on the podcast, and I feel like this is going to be equally, if not more,
I'm so excited. I'm so
amazing.
excited to share this story. I was telling you on Instagram that I had a girl dinner yesterday, and my girlfriend had just given birth. So it's just cool to get to dive into those stories because they're so special. Like every
Mhm.
single one is so special and so different. And I don't know. It was helpful. I think that was the one thing that I did consistently before I gave birth was I listened to so many birth stories. That was all I did.
And okay, so curious because sometimes people say, at some point you stop listening to the birth stories because you want to maybe feel into your own. But I think, like, I literally just bought this the other
Yeah, yeah.
day. Do
I
you have
read that
this?
one. I
Okay.
do. I have that one and I have her breastfeeding book as well.
Okay. So, you guys, if you're not watching on YouTube, I'm holding up Ina May's Guide to Childbirth. And the first entire section is all positive birth stories. And I think that
Yep.
can be an important one. And it's like, I was telling my sister-in-law, like, you kind of have to brainwash yourself a little bit.
Yeah. I completely agree. And actually, it's funny because I told you I have that book and I also have her breastfeeding book. And I actually only read the positive birth stories in her book.
Mm.
I started going into the rest of it and I was just like, you know what? Like, this is like too much for me. Like, this is too much detail. Like, I understood a lot of the like physiological like stuff that happens already. And I just felt like, um that book in particular almost made me feel like I had to give birth in a specific way. And I
Mm.
really tried to stay out of that mindset um because I didn't even have a birth plan because I knew like the feelings that I wanted to have around birth and like what I wanted the day to look like, but I didn't want to make like a specific like plan A, plan B, plan C because I just felt like I don't know, it's in God's hands. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I feel like something that Connor just preaches all the time is adaptability. And so, okay, before we get into the birth story, which I'm so excited to hear how
Yeah.
she arrived, I want to like back up
Sure.
to like even before you guys got pregnant and what that experience was like. Like, how did you
Yeah.
feel in your body? And were you doing ISO stuff or were you
Oh,
not doing anything at
this is
all? Like,
such
what did
a
it
good
look like?
question. So we actually were trying to conceive for over a year and a half. Um, the entire time was like a roller coaster. Like my life changed so much over that year and a half. We started trying to conceive while we still lived in Philadelphia. And I think in a lot of ways at that time, we were really like starting to transition our lives to look more like what we actually wanted our lives to look like. We knew we didn't want to live in the Northeast anymore. We didn't want to live in the city environment. We wanted sunshine, water, peace, outdoors, like, and so it just wasn't happening in the stress state for me that I was in when we lived in Philly. So fast forward like a year and a half, I stopped doing, anything that was not healthy, basically, which at the time I was smoking a lot of marijuana. I was like a lot, and I was just like using um Probably like weed and alcohol more than, not a lot, but like more than I think deep down I knew I should. And like it was more of a coping mechanism to kind of take away from the dissatisfaction and boredom that I was experiencing with the lifestyle that we had when we lived in Philly. So when we moved here, September of I think 2023, was it 23? No, 24. I cold turkey stopped everything. And like just I just didn't need it anymore. I was felt like so fulfilled. And so 3 months later we conceived. I also think that in the same breath, like because I had kind of taken on my health so headstrong, I was like focused extremely on being clean, organic, blah, 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 but not to a point of like going crazy. It's just what felt right at the moment. And Connor actually took a trip to Texas to our friend Kyle Kingsbury's house, and they're just incredible people. Kyle is like in the know of like every new health thing ever. So Connor spent a week there and they eat super clean. They harvested meat right on the farm. They Connor tried some methylene blue that weekend. And so that was interesting. I'm sure he'll tell you all about it. But he came back like also having like pretty much done what I think Kyle would call a full temple reset, like just a
Yes.
cleaning cleansing. And yeah, that weekend that he came back, we conceived. So crazy. Yeah. A
So
year and a half
crazy.
later. Yeah.
Was your, just curious too about this small detail, was your period and your cycle pretty regular? All the things
Yeah,
were,
I've been super regular my whole life,
okay,
especially after I like took off. Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
you're good.
Cut out. Especially since I got off of birth control when I was like, I think I was 19. So I
You
had
got
been,
off at 19?
yeah, yeah. I
Ah,
had like a freakish, like severe migraine episode where it was like first misdiagnosed as mini stroke,
mm,
and like my arm would go numb. I would stop being able to see. Sometimes I would lose like the ability to produce speech. It was like such an intense migraine. So after that I was like, yeah, this is time
were
to get
you
off of this.
were you on the pill?
Yeah, I was on the pill. I was on
Okay.
the pill since I was 16. So
Okay.
yeah, 3 years. And then I was like, yeah, can't do this anymore.
Thank
So
God you listened to that or like knew
yeah,
to.
yeah, it was, and it took probably 2 or 3 years for like my body to really feel normal after I got off
Mm,
the pill.
mm.
So yeah, now it's
Yeah,
in God's hands.
they don't necessarily teach you, yeah, how to like wean yourself off. If anyone is going through that or thinking about doing that, I did it through Woman Code and it was
Oh, really?
helpful. Yeah. Um, the book by Elisa Vitti that changed my life. But anyways, okay, so pregnancy, talk me through how that first trimester,
Ooh.
second trimester, everything felt.
First trimester was really rough.
Mm-hmm.
That was really rough. I found out that I was pregnant when I was like 5 weeks along, and I felt great first 5 weeks, right? Like didn't know anything was even different. And then sixth week came, and I was so sick, Brittany. Like so sick. I remember calling Connor, like crying, being like,
Oh.
I can't even get off the couch. How am I supposed to be a mom if I can't even do this? Like I was losing it. But a few things helped. One of my girlfriends mailed me a care package of ginger chews, vitamin B6 and ginger chews, and also like ginger tea. And so like I started kind of using that peppermint, and getting outside was like really helpful, but it was
Mm,
it was rough, and it stopped the day of my second trimester,
wow.
like
Okay.
to the day. So,
Okay. Heard.
but yeah, so prepare. I don't know. There's like wives' tales that it's if you're pregnant with a girl, you're sicker, but who knows?
I mean, thinking to what's going on in my world right now with my friends, clients, yeah, that kind of checks out.
Really?
It kind of does. Yeah. First trimester has been really rough around here.
Yeah,
Um,
it really was rough, but I did stay active. One of the things that I really loved, I was doing ISO mostly just calibrations because I was so sick that full trimester, first trimester. And then when second trimester came, I felt like a new person. I had
mm,
so much energy and I was playing tennis like I think almost every day of the week for like a couple hours a day. Uh,
wow.
and yeah, it was great. And I kept that up all the way through till I was 9 months pregnant. I probably wouldn't have stopped if I didn't get like horrible third trimester carpal tunnel. I don't know if you've heard about that
Mm.
part. Yeah. So that was nuts. Like I couldn't even hold a racket anymore. So that was,
Wow.
yeah.
Maybe your
But
body's way of saying, slow down on the tennis. We got to do.
yeah, we got to do other things. Oh, the dog's out.
Oh,
Uh, yeah, he's doing his thing today. Hi, Ari. But yeah, so I was pretty active. Second trimester was easily my favorite time, like season of being pregnant. Third trimester was rough. I put on a lot of weight. I put on like almost 50 pounds. And so it was just like hard to breathe, hard to sit in
mm,
a car. I had awful acid reflux. I like basically like had to stop eating at like 4 p.m. every day just to be able to like sleep through the night. So the sleep, that was rough.
yeah.
I was not getting any sleep almost all of my third trimester.
Mm. Because
So
you couldn't get comfortable, or do you
yeah,
feel like
I
it was
couldn't
something
get
else?
comfortable. I couldn't get comfortable. I couldn't breathe. I felt like my stomach was like up here, like
Yeah.
pressing on everything. And I couldn't like lay on the side that I usually lay on. I don't know
Yeah.
if you know, like if you lay on your left side, right side, that's a whole thing.
Yep.
So there were a few times in the middle of the night where I would like flip onto my right side and then I would wake up like thinking I was dying.
Yeah. Pressing on your vena cava. No, thank
It was
you.
insane. It was insane. So yeah. And then at like the very end, I mean, she was born 2 days after her due date. I went into labor on my due date. So she was right
Wow.
on time. Thank God. I didn't have to suffer any longer. I was ready for her to come out. Like
Yeah.
literally 37 weeks hit and I was like, get this baby out. I
Were
was
you
doing like,
doing all the things? Yeah,
oh
to
my
try to
God,
move her
I was
along.
doing squat jumps. I was doing the
Sidewalk.
step walk, sidewalks. Yeah, I was walking so many miles a day and it was September in Florida, bro. It was so hot. It was so hot. But yeah, I was doing it all and I guess it worked. I ate all the dates.
I was just gonna ask about that. One of my clients, she's like, I cannot look at another date because of how
I
many
don't think
dates I
I've eaten
had.
another date since.
I don't
And I
blame
still
you.
yeah, no thank you. I would save that for pregnancy number two.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Okay, so yeah, tell me what was like going on in your mind and your body as you were going through labor. Like your water
Oh my
broke or what happened?
So on Sunday night we had dinner. It was like very chill. I remember I had like been kind of nuts. I switched all of the lights in our house to the like no blue light lights. So I was like messing around with all the lamps and stuff, changing out the light bulbs, and then I had taken a selfie of like my big belly in like the mood lighting that I had just set up in our house.
I love that.
And I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to bed, like did my nightly routine, and all of a sudden there was no sleep. Like it just I started getting cramps and they like ramped up, but it was interesting because they tell you like, okay, you have to time your contractions, right? And at a certain point, I think it's like 5 minutes apart, lasting a minute, something like that. Like
Hmm, five on
I don't know,
one.
511, yeah. So mine never at any point, not until she was born, did my contractions become regular. So like that night, I was having contractions sometimes every 2 minutes, sometimes every 30 seconds.
Wow.
Like and never 5 minutes apart. So figuring out when the right time to go was more of like a, okay, like, no, like we need to go in now, like from a pain level, not so much a
Mm,
timing level. So yeah, and they never got regular, not
wow.
even right when she was coming out. So if anyone tells you that regular contractions are a thing, not for everyone.
Interesting. So, okay, it's so
Yeah.
funny. Like we were talking about this on Instagram last night, and I was asking Anya if she knew Carissa from Wave Work. Um, and
Yeah.
I haven't, I've been like like watching her, following her, listening and everything, and I'm like, I know I'm gonna get that course one day. I bought it last night.
You did? I need to
Yeah,
know everything.
I know. I'm gonna go through it
Give me
and
your review.
see what she actually says. I'm so curious, like what her stance is on that, like regularity or that rhythm, because how she typically, in my head, what I think she's talking about is like there are just these waves that you ride, but
Yeah.
are they regular, or does she address the irregularity and the
I think that
nuance of that?
I think for me, the only regularity was that I knew when when the wave ended that I needed to like prepare, right? Like so there was like
Mm,
a mental preparation and the breathing cycle that I was using, which I'm sure she'll teach in her course as well. But the breathing practice was the most helpful. And because of the way we teach, Connor teaches it at ISO, where like you know when you exert is when you breathe out. That's what I would do basically. So
yeah.
like as the
Cool.
contractions were coming, I was just slowly like breathing out, like trying to like make that breath last as long as that contraction was happening. And I mean, it did its best for a while. And then you hit a place where like you leave your body. And I'm not really sure what was going on. But we're here, so we're good.
You went into the underworld, the
I
underbelly.
I really did. I really did. I actually one of the things that was so helpful for me was so because we just moved to to Florida and I had not really known anyone here. I had started at like a pretty typical OBGYN practice. And then I found my doula, Intuitive Womb. She's amazing. Shout out to her. Isis is like number one doula in South Florida, hands down.
Mm.
But she connected me. She was like, she was so sweet about it, but she kept saying like, I just feel like with the personality that you have and like the way that you like speak about what you want your birthing experience to be like, that you should really like explore other practice. She was so sweet about it, right? So she was just giving me like this like subtle like nudges to explore other options.
Yeah.
And she introduced me to my midwife, and I ended up switching at 34 weeks pregnant, which is like the
Wow.
last week that you can possibly switch, that like most practices will even accept you. And I'm so glad that I did because my midwife is the most amazing human on the planet. And she, like, I think it was thanks to her that my birth went so smoothly because
Mm,
I'll tell you like once we got to the hospital and all that stuff, but like it was rough go there for a minute for
mm,
sure. So where did we leave off? All right, so my contractions were not regular. I labored at home on my labor ball, actually in her room, in Sophie's room,
mm.
with like the wave sounds on, and I labored through the night. I didn't sleep at all. On Monday morning, Connor was launching his first, oh my God, Lauren Niece is calling him right now on his
No way.
iPad.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
Hi,
Hi, Lauren.
Lauren. So what was I saying? Oh, so on Monday morning, Connor was launching this cohort,
Yeah.
this little like, last cohort of all levels group. And I was like, okay, I just have to last until like after he does class and like just have to make it until 11 a.m. and then we can go to the hospital. And I remember he finishes class and I'm looking at him, I'm like, we gotta go. Like, we gotta go now because I couldn't sit still. Like, I was afraid that I wouldn't be able to sit still in the 20-minute car ride
Oh,
from here to the hospital. So by 1 o'clock, we were at the hospital. And the hospital that I picked, because I had really deep down wanted to do a home birth,
Hmm.
but home births are really expensive.
Mm.
And they're like, I think something like 13,000 usually for a home birth. Yeah.
Do you
And
know the
most
breakdown of that pricing? Like
it's
why?
all the midwife's equipment and
Okay,
all of the
if you wanted to have a
like
birth
all
tub.
the appointments up to it. Like they include everything.
Mm.
But because I had switched so late and like all of this stuff, it just like didn't make any sense. And the hospital that my midwife delivered at actually allowed you to do water births.
Wow.
So, and I had my doula there. So we really made the environment super home-like, which was
Mm.
great. So we get to the hospital. I'm in the like triage room for 2 hours. They're like checking you in. And it's awful because like right next to you, there are like other women like also waiting
Laboring?
to be admitted and like everyone labors differently. So like it's not always great to have that energy of like other people around, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
anyway, that was great. But Connor was like cracking me up the whole time. He was like, okay, let's go walk. So I'm walking up and down the hallways, just like keeling over with every instruction. But it was fine. We got into our room. We had the labor tub set up right away. Um, and I think I was refusing cervical checks. I didn't really want to know. I just wanted to feel. Yeah.
Yeah, because it
I
was mess
felt
with
like,
you.
yeah, I felt like it would mess with me. Exactly. So Monday was chill. We were like, everything was progressing really great until like 8 p.m. I had gotten into the tub. I was laboring in the tub. It was like super regular and just like calm. My doula was massaging me. We were using the birth swing. We had like all this amazing stuff set up. It was great. And the TENS machine, which is amazing if you ever use one of those, that was great.
Hmm.
But
Did you have it on
then
your back?
yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, before I got in the water. Then
Nice.
after that,
Yes.
I
I
was
was
all
like,
good. Connor was bringing me ice. It was awesome. And then at like 8 o'clock, everything shifted. I had gotten a LEEP procedure. I don't know,
mm,
yeah.
yep.
So I had pre-cervical cancer cells years ago. So I ended up getting that LEEP procedure. And I think from that, there was scar tissue on my cervix that was not moving. And I remember like crying to Connor in the tub, being like, I just feel like she's hitting a wall, like where nothing's progressing. And that
Mm,
continued for like an entire hour. And I was just getting so exhausted, Brittany. Like I was so tired. And at this point, it was almost like 2 days of laboring. Like I was done.
yeah.
Um, and I like wasn't in a state to eat anything. And Connor and my midwife were like, look, like I know that you don't want to do a cervical check, but like maybe we should just check to like see what's going on and like get a better idea. And so when she did the cervical check at that point, she was like, look, like you're only 5 centimeters dilated after all that time. And she's like, there is just this like thick piece of scar tissue. Like it's gonna take a lot of time to move this. Like I don't see this moving along very fast. Um, and that's when I decided to get the epidural, which I never wanted to do, but looking back was the best decision for me at the time because I was so tired. And as soon as I got the epidural, I was able to like sleep. My water
Mm,
broke on its own because I like relaxed. And I woke up at 6 a.m., 9 centimeters dilated, and my epidural was like not turned up that high either. So like I had feeling in my legs before I started pushing. So I was in a fully
amazing.
like upright squat. And yeah, for pushing, I only pushed for like 45 minutes. And she came out, no tears. My
Wait,
midwife, yeah.
back up, because like what happened with the scar tissue? Did your
It moved
midwife
on
do
its own.
any? Okay, okay, okay. Because
Mm-mm.
that's amazing.
Yeah, I think that once I could relax, my body just continued to work. And I feel like right when my water broke was probably when that scar tissue moved, like from that rush of fluid. Um, yeah, it was crazy. And I think looking back on it, that was a big reason why I didn't want to read too much about like what the ideal process is from someone else's perspective, because I would have never chosen to have gotten a epidural, but like looking back on it, it was the best thing for me and my baby at the time. So who knows? Maybe second time around I'll get to try it another way. But
I mean,
you know,
yeah. Like you've
yeah,
already proven to yourself that you can do it and that your body can
yeah,
do it. And
yeah.
the fact that you painted the picture so beautifully where you were in an upright squat because
Mhm.
you could feel your legs, because the epidural wasn't
Yeah,
turned
and
up
that
too
was a
high.
big deal because that's all midwife coaching, right? Like that's she was able to help me understand how to use the epidural and not abuse it. I think like because a lot
Mm.
of women get it on a clicker that like you can just crank that up and like then I mean you literally like won't feel your legs. Like I've seen people where they have to come in and like move flop your legs from like one. I couldn't imagine it being turned up to that level because it's really such a strong medication. But yeah, and so when it came time to push, my midwife was actually coaching me, not heavily, but she was saying like, okay, like let's just slow down because at this point, like your adrenaline is like rushing, like you want to get this baby out, but it takes time to like make sure you don't rip anything down there, you know?
Yes, you have to ride the wave.
So, and she was massaging too. She would like stick her fingers in and like massage the bottom of like the perineum and like support it so that as her head was coming out, it was like not ripping everything
Yeah.
to shreds.
Like any hot or warm rag, like not
Yeah,
rag, but a
yeah,
towel or a
yeah,
compress of some
yeah.
kind to
She
help
did
with
that. It
that.
was
Love.
amazing. It was amazing. So, and then Connor got to catch the baby. He got to deliver her and put her on my chest, and it was just such a beautiful experience. I remember even my midwife even like put on like country jams for for us.
Oh my
Like we
God.
were chilling, you know.
That
It
is
was
so
great. It was
cute.
so good. It was so good. So yeah, we had a great time. That was the best. I just like the flow of um endorphins and the feeling when that baby's put on your chest and like you see that they're like healthy, that they're breathing, and it's just like such a relief, you know.
And your baby is one of the most beautiful babies I've ever seen. Like she's so precious.
He looks just like my husband. Oh
Well,
my God.
I mean, I see you in her too. But yeah,
Yeah.
like his coloring is or her
Yeah.
coloring is very
Yeah.
yeah.
Baby Connor moves. Oh my God. She just started standing today.
Stop it.
And I'll send you
Okay.
the afterwards.
Yes, please. Oh my gosh, yes, please. Um, well, talk me through like those initial days after. Like,
Mm, yeah.
how did your body
So
feel?
I think Connor and I both had such a rush of adrenaline afterwards. I like we barely slept for like 2 days. We were just so excited. We were both staring at her. I remember looking at her like maybe an hour after, and I was like, you know what, I could do this again. It's just like
That's the way it works.
sniffing her and like just the smell. Oh my God, it's the most intoxicating thing I've ever experienced in my life. Um,
Best
I
drug.
did struggle to breastfeed. And that was like a whole experience in and of itself. The lactation consultant at the hospital like brought a pump to me because I like couldn't get her to latch right away.
Mm.
And but I did bring a shit ton of colostrum. So like I had plenty to feed her with, but the hospitals love to be like, well, what's your plan? Like, how are you going to feed them? Like, we need to make sure that you leave the hospital and like we know that you have a plan to like feed your baby. And I'm like, I'm not going to starve my baby. Like, I just need you to give me some time. I had enough colostrum stored up here at home that like she could have lasted just on that for over a week. Like, I just
Mm.
needed some time.
Hmm.
But they weren't giving me that time. And so they brought a pump in. They wanted me to like, well, if I'm not going to breastfeed, then I have to pump. Fine. And this lactation consultant sets the pump on like 11. which is like I didn't know, and I've
Like,
never pumped in my life. He puts it on my left nipple, and it like it messed up my nipple so badly, Brittany, that like I it was bleeding and
oh,
messed up for like 3 weeks. So like
Anya,
that
oh my God.
exacerbated the whole issues, all of the issues that I was having with breastfeeding. Then I started having to use a nipple shield just to be able to get her to latch on that side.
Mm.
And it was such a mess. And I have to thank my midwife, Ryan, for the rest of my life because she is one of the few practices that like refuses to wait the 6 weeks for your follow-up appointment. Like most places, 6 weeks. It's ridiculous. She's like, no,
Ridiculous.
I'll see you in 2 weeks. And like, if you have any problems with anything, like let me know. You can always come in sooner. I was like, great. So at that 2 week appointment, we get there and Sophie um has an explosive poop the second we get into the exam room and then
Classic.
starts screaming, like hungry screaming. And Ryan looks at me and she goes, "Oh, this is a perfect opportunity. Like, go ahead and show me how you feed her."
Yeah.
And I was like kind of nervous, I was like, oh my God. So I'm like reaching for my nipple shield, like blah, blah. And Ryan's like, no, no, we're not going to use that today. She just like takes my boob, like hamburgers it,
Oh
and
my
like
gosh.
puts Sophie on. And after that, exclusively breastfeeding. We've never had another issue. Like we have been going strong now. I'm exclusively breastfed for 8 months. I have
What?
no plans of stopping
What is her
anytime
trick? The
soon.
trick is just hamburgering it?
Bro, hamburger and like
Yeah.
forceful, like baby, like don't because I was like afraid, I didn't want to like hurt her, like she's so little, but
Yeah.
like you kind of have to keep them there, like because they don't really know what they're doing yet either,
Right.
like they're learning as well. So yeah, it was hamburger, chin to below the nipple, and hold her there, don't let it move.
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't let her get distracted. There's so many. I
Exactly.
think that's the
Exactly.
funniest thing though, when like a baby is just like sucking and then like starting to look elsewhere and just like,
Oh my God. Yeah. Tell me about it. 8 months right now.
Yeah.
Getting her to focus and feed is like impossible. She's doing flips. She's squatting. She's doing squats and hip hinges while she's nursing. It's nuts.
Stop.
It's actually nuts. Yeah.
I
So
need to see that. That
I
is
will, I
so
probably do
funny.
have some videos I'll send you.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
I
so
mean,
we've come a long way. So nursing was definitely the hardest part. When I first came home, and I would latch her. I was so determined to breastfeed. Not that I don't think that there's anything wrong with any choice of how this feeding goes for a baby, but for some reason I just had like this deep want to figure it out, to get it right. And my mother never breastfed either of us. She had mastitis
mm,
multiple times, and just like I think the guidance wasn't there for her. And so I like would latch Sophie and just would cry, would for like 2 weeks straight, just like tear. It hurt so bad. Um, and then after that 2 week appointment, everything changed. So just like having the right people and like continuing to reach out to people for help is like so important because I
I
think that we don't get it handed to us otherwise. You know what I mean? Like you got to work for it.
yeah, yeah, you definitely have to be on top of and or learn how to voice what you need.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I think the help is it can be there for
It can be
sure.
there, but you have to find the right people for you.
Yeah.
Um, and like I think another thing that is so interesting is how a lot of us are told that like, oh, well, if breastfeeding doesn't work out like right away, like in the hospital, then like, just like wash your hands of it and like move on. But like I've heard stories of women who couldn't breastfeed for months and then their baby and them started working on it. And at 3 months, at 8 months, you can
Mm,
you can start anytime.
mm, mm.
Just you got to have that team around you that'll help. It's
Yeah,
hard.
I think you're exactly right. Like having the team that will support you in the learning struggle, because there is a learning curve, like you're saying. And even though,
Mhm.
like, it's kind of like I don't know if I want to say this like this, but I think sometimes in the hospital, the people who are watching you struggle, it's hard for them to watch you struggle and move through something. And like even
Yeah.
with birth and or with breastfeeding, it's like, okay, like you've been laboring for way too long. You're tired. Let's do a cesarean. Like it's,
That was my fear. That was my biggest fear. That's why I waited as long as I could before the epidural was even on the table because I was like, well, what if they're just like, oh, you're timed out. That happens all the time.
it does. It
It's
does.
great.
So yeah, having
So,
having the right team members, like you're saying, is exactly right.
yeah, to advocate for you and just like not to instill fear or give you deadlines. Like there are no timelines in birth.
Say that
Fine.
again. Say
No
that again.
timelines in birth. No. Yeah, so it was difficult, but yeah, to after that we were smooth sailing with breastfeeding. I think that I also went through a bit of neurotices with like tracking how many poopy diapers, how many wet diapers. You know what I mean? Like, because everyone's like, oh, you have to keep track. And then I was like, one day I was like, screw this. Throw
What was
that
the,
app out.
were you
Oh
doing
my
it on an
God.
app you said?
Yeah, it's this app everyone uses. It's called like
Goose.
Huckleberry.
Yes. I was like, gooseberry? That's wrong.
Oh, Huckleberry. Oh my God, I'll never use that app again. No, it was just
That's,
driving me absolutely nuts. And then I was thinking about it, I was like, why am I doing this? Like, I will know if there's something wrong.
yeah.
The
I think
baby will tell you.
it's so funny. It works for some people like brilliantly, and for some it's like doing any kind of temperature tracking for your cycle. It's like doing your sleep tracking with your Aura ring or whatever. It's, a lot of data can be nice, but to some extent it's just not helpful.
I had to stop with the sleep tracking apps, especially postpartum, because
Mm.
I was, I'm not sleeping. I still don't sleep. I last night Sophie woke up 4 times and then she was up for good at 4:30 this morning. So, like I'm not sleeping. I haven't slept in 8 months. And I just remember like seeing like doing my night, right? Like waking up a bit tired, whatever, and then like seeing the like red zone on my sleep tracking app and being like, "Oh my God." Like of course it's just like of course I'm exhausted. Of course I'm not hitting the targets for sleep. Like but seeing that would make it so much worse. And since I like stopped using them, now I'm just like we're chilling. It is what it is.
Yes.
What
Yeah.
do you?
You're like you're doing the best you can. Does the app also know if you're postpartum or not? Because that's got to be
Right.
like
Yeah, it needs to
toggle. Let me
toggle.
toggle postpartum.
Yeah,
Stop giving me red,
seriously.
fail, whatever F like
Oh my God.
grade. Oh my
It's
gosh,
so
how
bad.
defeating.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, sleep and just like I remember the hormones were wild after
Yeah.
post. Like I w would feel so good in the mornings and we would have such a great day. And then twilight would come around and I would get like such anxiety for the night to come and like
Mm.
what's the wake up's gonna be like? Are we gonna be okay at night? Like it was just and that lasted for a while and finally like kind of went away as I got more comfortable just letting go of the fact that like yeah obviously she's gonna wake up at night like it is what it is but it takes time to adjust to that new normal
Mm.
so
You're just making me think of like some women who have, I mean, it's nothing to laugh about at all, but like they do have a lot of anxiety around even getting their periods just regularly.
yeah
Um, and it's like the night, the dark, the winter, the yeah, just like new moon phase of life where you just in the end have to completely surrender. And it's so
yeah
interesting that we're just talking about like, oh, we want to, learn through this learning curve, learn through the struggle, but like when do we know when to just let go and surrender and let it be and we get to chill and move through things so easily or not so easily, but like without feeling like,
expectation
yeah,
yeah yeah that was a huge thing that I've had to learn since becoming a mom. It's like presence and no expectations. Like we're just gonna rock with it. It is what it is. So, yeah, it's a beautiful thing though. I really needed it.
I was just gonna
I
say, because like,
really
did you
needed it.
consider yourself? I mean, if for anyone who is listening who doesn't know this about Anya, like she runs all the back end ops. Like she's got a real estate background. I feel like you've always, maybe this is an assumption, but very like put together type A little bit. And okay.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, a little bit. Even my best friend was like, "You," I was like, "No, I'm a chill mom." She's like, "You?" You sure?
Motherhood made you chill.
Yeah, it did. In a lot of ways, it really did. And I don't know. I just think that you get so few of these moments where they are like this little, it goes by so fast, Brittany. So fuck everything else. Doesn't matter.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
What would you say for other women who are also like into and doing ISO, they're into their movement. What has that like practice looked like? How has it morphed for you even like to today? Because we're not in the game of like bouncing back necessarily. I feel like maybe I've not explicitly said this on the podcast, but yeah, there's no such thing in my world. And I have said this where like your progression back into embodiment for your own well-being and movement and your ability to like mother and keep up with the kid, right? It will mirror their ability to start mobilizing as well. So, like, while they're crawling, you're crawling. While they're standing, you're standing. While they're starting to trot, you're trotting, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And so, I'm
Yeah.
just curious what that, and living with someone who preaches movement, like, how's that?
So funny. We were just laughing the other day. We were like, wow. She's because our baby, she's very mobile. Like she started full-blown crawling, sitting and full-blown crawling by 5.5, 6 months. So
Wow.
we've been running after this baby. And and we were laughing, we were like, wow, we really got what we wanted, didn't we? It's tough. It's tough. It's hard. But I think having put in the work into all right, no. Hey, no. Having put in the work into our movement practices before this has allowed us, sorry, I'm just
You're
gonna
good.
1 second. Come here.
Take your time.
This boy. Get out of here. All right. So, because Connor and I both have worked on this consistently for so many years, I think we've created a buffer, right? Like, I think he talks about this a lot. Like, when you are consistent in doing something, you create more space between like your body collapsing on you when things get hard. So, that buffer has been really important
Mm.
to allow me to maintain a pain-free body through postpartum, especially when
Wow.
I'm, she's 18 pounds and she wants to be carried around all day. So on this side all day. But I also think that being able to maintain even the 20-minute calibrations a day, it's making me a more fun parent. And that doesn't come naturally to me. I'm very like of Soviet descent. Like I'm usually very like serious. Yeah, like I'm like in my head about all the things that have to get done. But like now that I've had a baby and I get to just like my workouts look different because I'm just playing with her and she's with
Mm.
me, right? So like I- I'll be doing my calibration and I'll hold her and she'll fall asleep. Like you just have to like let it go, do what you can. Sometimes I'm doing squats while I'm rocking her to sleep, right? Like it just looks different. I'm not going, I know I'm not going to get an hour of uninterrupted time to do my workout. I had to I suffered for a couple of weeks after because I was still expecting to get that time and I had to really shift that mentality and just be like, okay, like how do I make the little moments that I get with her where she's like paying attention and chill, that I can like use this as a workout for me. And
Mm-hmm.
it she's been learning from me. Like just yesterday, we have these like boxes set up like that she can crawl on, set up in her room.
Cute.
And I was like doing like frog jumps from off the box to on the box off the, and she loves it. And so like now she's trying to do frog jumps, and it's just like how fun that I get to do this with my mini me. Are you kidding me? I love
I
it.
seriously can't I can't wait. I can't wait for that experience. And
Yeah.
I know you know this, like one of the big reasons I was so drawn to like ISO was just essentially like the caked in efficiency. Like when you have the mindset of this
Efficiency.
is a
Yeah.
part of or can be a part of your everyday movement. And like that's why I love the daily habits
Hmm.
class, right? Like, oh, I'm thinking about my spine all the time to the point though where eventually I'm not thinking about it and
Yeah.
it's nice and erect. But
Yeah.
because I know from working with so many women that are moms who are active and identify as wanting to stay active and or return to something like that eventually, like you're not going to have all that time. So how are you going to return back to these motions?
Hmm.
And it like it you can't get away. You can't get away. So what are we doing throughout the day, including them
Yeah.
in it? Like I love
I
thinking
do it everything that I do during the day, these at this point, like carrying her, when I make her food, when we're playing, when I'm running with the running stroller, like every single thing that I do, I'm thinking about the fact that she's watching. And I don't know if this is scientific fact or not, but I've seen it with my own eyes. She learns, she carries herself and her body in the way that she watches Connor and I carry our bodies. So that to me is such a huge responsibility. Like before I had a child, I probably didn't think about it as much as far as like, it doesn't, the way I hold my posture, like who cares? It's only on me, right? Now it's like, no, she's watching. And like, I want her to stand tall and proud and pain free and confident. And if I'm not doing that, how can I possibly expect her to do that? So, yeah.
freaking mic drop right there.
Makes me emotional. Yeah. Because honestly, it circles all the way back to the conversation we started about with our parents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I I don't want to like air out all my dad's laundry, by any means, but he he is definitely one of those like motivating factors for me or just like I know that I mean I do this for me like and I do it for this future baby that I'd love to have one day and I'm noticing like this was the first time I guess just that I noticed where I'm not just impacting me and James, I am impacting my family, my
Oh, yeah.
parents, my aunt, my sibling, maybe his wife. And
All the people that listen to your podcast, all of your clients. It's a lot. The ripple effect is insane.
the ripple effect is so crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
And
yeah,
I think we don't give ourselves enough credit with that. Like whether if we run our own business or not, it doesn't matter who we are, the way that we love ourselves has an effect on the whole world, whether you acknowledge it or not. So yeah, that's why I mean, and Connors always says that like his motto, like his whatever mission statement you can call it, right, is um I just want one person to learn how to love themselves, right? Like that's the whole ISO mission statement.
mm,
And now I really feel it like here, like I feel it in my gut. that if you can love yourself, like truly give yourself everything that you know you deserve, then people around you feel like they can allow themselves to step into that. And really, that's all I ever want for any of my family or friends or loved ones is to give themselves permission to do that. And even you,
Exactly.
you gave me permission to do that today, just to come on this podcast and talk about this. So yeah, it's really special to me.
Dude, it's so special to me. I'm so grateful to have you and to make all these dots kind of connect for not just like me, but the listeners and everyone that you guys impact. And yeah, just one, I guess, final, not final. This, we can obviously probably talk for hours and hours and hours on this
Forever. I wish I
piece.
could talk forever. I have to take relief Connor from baby duty soon.
Oh my gosh. Okay, he can hold for 2 minutes, but just yeah, like I wanted to like thread this back in with like the self-love and the identity and even like the back pain that our parents have experienced. And I mean, I've experienced back pain too, you three. And it is like that center of solar plexus and identity. And if we feel so stuck and cannot love ourselves because of all these past choices we've made, like there's a really hard, heavy kind of unlearning that gets to happen, I think.
Mhm.
And sometimes that happens with new kinds of motion and mobilizing, which is why
Yeah.
like I love I've loved the past like year plus learning with you guys and um trying something brand new in my body that's forced me into a new level of
Yeah,
identity. I've
you've been such an inspiration.
stopped.
Oh no, I'm
Thank
serious.
you.
Yeah, I'm serious. You take it and you make it your own, and it's just been so beautiful to watch. But on that note of, you know, when you try something new, it kind of sheds light onto like your past decisions and stuff. When I first did a session with Connor years ago, he put me in a hinge and I started bawling, like uncontrollable tears, like I felt like I couldn't breathe. And I remember that feeling so well. I carry it with me. Like I think about it all of the time because my spine decompressed to such a degree that everything that I felt, all the guilt, all the lack of self-love, I felt the weight of all of those decisions in the moment that my pain left. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. When my pain, I had low back pain um after a breakup. I mean during the end of this relationship and then the breakup and then the first time I felt relief, I realized like, oh my God, I'd been stabbing myself
Like
and
I did this
self-abandoning me
to
in the back.
myself. Yeah, I get chills. Yeah.
Yeah, you're making me emotional again thinking
Yeah.
about your experience and just oh, like what is possible for the people in our lives who we know who have low back pain and
Yeah. Anything. I mean, I think that even your dad and running, like the fact that he was able to do that little run back and forth, like he is capable of so much.
I know. And I feel like what Connor does for me and what you do for me is what I'm trying to do for him, where I'm just like holding up the light, the mirror, the just torch of like, you can do this. I believe in you so hard and I trust you enough. And it's okay if you don't believe in yourself some days because I believe in you
Yeah. Ugh, I want updates on dad.
for sure. I'll send some. Well, I know you have to relieve Connor of baby duty
I don't
and
know if you can hear it. She is
is she
taking a
wailing?
nap. Yeah.
I
Taking a
can't
nap.
hear it. She's
Good.
so sweet.
We'll spare your listeners.
So funny. Well,
Thank you so much for having me. I adore you. I adore you so much. And actually, I think I'm gonna do your Valkyrie. Yeah,
bless. I would love for you to do it.
I need
Oh
it.
my
So
gosh.
I
Oh
need it.
my
It's the
gosh.
perfect time. So we'll end it on that. Do Brittany the Valkyrie with me.
Yeah, join Anya. Oh
Yes.
my gosh. Thank you so much for
I
being
love
here
you
and
so
sharing your
much.
voice. I
I
love
will
you
see
too.
you very soon. We're gonna come out to California in October.
Hell yeah, hit me up.
Keep you
I would
posted on
love
that.
that.
I love you.
Bye, love you. Have a good
Bye, Whit.
one.
Thanks.
Man, I truly did not want that episode to end. I could, like I have said, talk to Anya all day long, but guess what? Okay, so maybe she'll join Vaginal Alchemy. And yet, she has joined 75 Her, which, if you are new to this podcast, if you have not been seeing what I've been sharing on Instagram or TikTok or YouTube, then you may not know yet that 75 Her is actually a wellness challenge that started 2 days ago. Uh, at the time of this recording, on June 1st, this wellness challenge started, and it is for 75 days. We are cyclically living. So, if you've heard of 75 Hard, maybe you know it was built for men. It is unsustainable. It creates a yo yo patterning, which allows a lot of crash outs. And 75 Her is quite the opposite. This is a way of living that you get to try on if you are coming back into rhythm with your body, you want to connect with your cycle and or the moon cycles, if you are coming back into your body after a postpartum recovery period. This is what this wellness challenge is for. It is truly for the woman who wants to learn how to live cyclically in a sustainable way and feel better in her body, feel devoted to her body, and show her body love. If that woman is you, I would love for you to join the challenge. It is only $75, aka $1 a day. We are doing live calls. We are doing a Telegram group with all kinds of resources. You have access to me. You have access to a bunch of other women who are doing this with you for encouragement, for inspiration. It is going to be the most amazing summer. This is the 2006 Summer Challenge from June 1st to August 15th, and the doors don't even close until June 8th. So if you're listening to this episode on the day it comes out, Wednesday or Thursday or Friday or Saturday or Sunday, please join us. If this is scratching an itch, there are lots of ISO girls joining. I would love more to be there. And if you're not an ISO, you will learn what that is. If you're ready to step into the most cyclical feminine version of you yet, come and join us this summer. The link is in the show notes. Thank you again so much for listening to this episode, and we will see you next time. Thanks for listening and for placing your finger on the pelvic pulse. I'm Brittany Ellers. The music for this podcast was created by Just Tech, and I'm grateful you're here breathing this conversation in with me. You're invited to stay connected by following the show on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you listen, and by sharing it with someone you love. Beyond the podcast, there are 2 free spaces waiting for you: the Arousal Anatomy Adventure and my private podcast, The Pool of Presence, both designed to support you in coming back into your body and listening to what's real right now. You'll find everything linked in the show notes. Let your curiosity lead you and enter wherever you feel drawn. It's an honor to walk alongside you.